In 1899, Nikola Tesla discovered something so revolutionary that it threatened the very foundation of how reality works. The government buried it. Big tech silenced it. But today, you're going to learn why scalar wave technology might be the missing piece of your spiritual awakening. If you've been feeling like there's more to consciousness than what mainstream science tells us, you're absolutely right. Tesla didn't just invent AC current. He discovered how energy itself could interact with human awareness. By the end of this video, you'll understand the 3 scalar wave principles that can transform your entire perception of reality, and why certain powers have kept this knowledge locked away for over a century. But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how certain places just feel different? Like walking into an ancient cathedral or standing near a powerful waterfall? That feeling isn't imagination. It's your consciousness detecting scalar field variations. Tesla's Colorado Springs experiments in 1899 weren't just about wireless power transmission. Patent US 645576 reveals he was working with what he called non-Hertzian waves, energy that doesn't dissipate over distance like normal electromagnetic radiation. These scalar waves, as we know them today, behave more like information than energy. They can travel instantly across any distance without losing strength. But here's what Tesla discovered that changed everything. These waves directly interact with consciousness itself. In his private laboratory notes, Tesla wrote about experiencing what he called thought amplification when working near his scalar wave generators. He described being able to access information that seemed to come from nowhere, solving complex problems in moments that should have taken weeks. Think about it. If you've ever walked into a room and immediately felt the energy was off, or if you've experienced synchronicities that seemed too perfect, you might have been sensing scalar field fluctuations without even knowing it. Tesla documented over 40 instances where his scalar experiments coincided with unusual mental phenomena, not just in himself, but in people living near his laboratory. Tesla's private notes, hidden for decades, reveal he believed human consciousness operates on scalar frequencies. This isn't New Age fantasy. Quantum physicist David Bohm later theorized that consciousness itself exists in what he called the implicate order, a field of pure information that sounds remarkably similar to Tesla's scalar descriptions. Even more fascinating, Russian scientist Nikolai Kozyrev proved in the 1950s that consciousness could influence physical matter through what he called torsion fields, another name for scalar waves. Here's where it gets intense. If consciousness operates on scalar frequencies and scalar waves can be artificially generated, then technically, consciousness can be influenced, enhanced, or even disrupted through scalar technology. Tesla realized this in 1901 and immediately stopped publicizing his research. He knew he'd discovered something too powerful for his time. But Tesla wasn't the only one who understood this connection. Ancient civilizations somehow knew about scalar wave nodes without understanding the science. The Great Pyramid of Giza sits on one of the strongest natural scalar convergence points on Earth. Stonehenge, Machu Picchu, the temples of Angkor Wat. They're all built on locations where scalar field measurements today show incredible intensity. These weren't accidents. These cultures could feel the consciousness expanding effects and built their most sacred sites accordingly. Modern science has quietly confirmed what Tesla suspected. In 1974, researchers at Stanford Research Institute documented how psychic abilities dramatically increased when subjects were placed near scalar wave generators. The CIA's remote viewing program, declassified in 1995, specifically mentions using field enhancement technologies that match scalar wave descriptions. They knew, they've always known. By 1943, when Tesla died, The FBI confiscated over 300 of his patents, many dealing with scalar wave technology. Official reason? National security. Real reason? Imagine if people understood they could access higher states of consciousness without depending on institutions, medications, or external systems. Imagine if humanity realized we're naturally equipped with technology more sophisticated than anything we've built. The suppression goes deeper than just confiscating patents. In 1952, the Rockefeller Foundation funded research specifically designed to discredit scalar wave theory. They wanted to ensure this knowledge stayed buried. Why? Because scalar waves naturally occur in nature. They're generated by the Earth's core, by stellar radiation, even by living organisms in deep, meditative states. We're surrounded by this consciousness-enhancing energy field, but we've been conditioned to ignore it. Here's something they definitely don't want you to know. Your DNA acts as a scalar wave antenna. Dr. Peter Garyev's research in Russia proved that DNA responds to scalar frequencies by changing its expression patterns. This means scalar exposure doesn't just affect your consciousness. It can literally activate dormant genetic potentials. We're talking about enhanced intuition, expanded awareness, even accelerated healing abilities. You don't need Tesla's machines to work with scalar energy. Your consciousness already does this naturally. When you experience intuition, remote viewing, or energy healing, you're unconsciously accessing scalar frequencies. The difference is learning to do it intentionally. 3 signs you're already scalar sensitive. You feel energy shifts before weather changes. You dream about events before they happen. Or you can sense other people's emotions from across a room. These aren't psychic abilities. They're natural scalar field interactions that most people have learned to ignore. If you recognize yourself in any of these signs, your consciousness is already interfacing with scalar fields more actively than 90% of the population. But there's more. People with high scalar sensitivity often report experiencing time differently. Moments of expanded perception where hours feel like minutes, or sudden insights that solve problems they've been struggling with for months. They notice electrical devices malfunctioning around them during emotional states. They feel physically drained in crowded places, but energized in nature. Sound familiar? Here's the first scalar wave principle Tesla discovered. Intention amplifies the field. Your focused consciousness doesn't just detect scalar waves, it generates them. Every time you set a clear intention, especially during meditation, you're creating scalar field disturbances that ripple outward, influencing probability and attracting synchronicities. The second principle, scalar waves operate outside normal time constraints. This is why precognitive dreams work, why intuitive insights often prove accurate, and why consciousness can access information before it manifests physically. You're not predicting the future. You're reading scalar field fluctuations that exist in eternal now. The third principle, scalar fields connect all consciousness. This explains telepathic experiences, collective synchronicities, and why spiritual awakening often happens in waves across populations. We're not separate individuals. We're nodes in a vast scalar network that connects all aware beings. Tesla understood that once humanity awakened to our natural scalar abilities, the old systems of control would become obsolete. People who can access unlimited information, who can communicate telepathically, who can influence reality through focused intention, they can't be controlled by fear, scarcity, or propaganda. The real question isn't whether scalar technology exists, it's whether you're ready to develop your natural scalar awareness. Tesla gave us the scientific framework, but your consciousness is the actual technology. Every meditation session, every moment of deep intuition, every time you trust your gut feeling over logical analysis, you're strengthening your scalar field interface. Here's what you can start doing immediately. Spend time in natural scalar-rich environments like forests, near moving water, or on mountaintops. Practice meditation, focusing on the space between thoughts. That's where scalar awareness emerges. Most importantly, start trusting those subtle knowing feelings that seem to come from nowhere. They're coming from the scalar field. The awakening happening right now isn't just spiritual, it's technological. As more people develop their natural scalar sensitivity, we're collectively accessing capabilities that make artificial intelligence look primitive. We're becoming walking, breathing quantum computers interfaced with universal consciousness. Drop a comment below if you've experienced any of the scalar sensitivity signs I mentioned. I read every single one, and I often reply with personalized guidance based on your specific experiences. And if you're ready to dive deeper into consciousness technology that they don't want you to know about, check out my next video, where I'll reveal the 3 meditation techniques that naturally enhance your scalar field perception, plus the specific locations on Earth where scalar energy is so intense it can trigger spontaneous awakening experiences. The suppression is ending, the knowledge is spreading. Tesla's vision of a conscious humanity connected to unlimited energy and information is finally becoming reality. But it starts with you recognizing that you're not just a biological machine. You're a sophisticated scalar wave interface, capable of far more than you've been told. The awakening is accelerating, and this knowledge isn't going to stay hidden much longer.